Hi everyone, it's Beth, and today I'm going to be making over one of the little tin mason jars from Dollar Tree. I grabbed one of these large tag signs from Dollar Tree. This floral pick I got at Joann's. One of the metal tin hangers looks like a mason jar from Dollar Tree. 4 tumbling tower blocks. Some light colored twine. Scrapbook paper. This one I got from Amazon. Mod Podge and Granite gray acrylic paint and hot glue. The first thing I did was remove the hanger from the tag sign. And the front of it is like a cork board, and I didn't want to just flip it over. I wanted it to be completely finished, so I tried removing it. I used some damp paper towels and just laid them on there for about 20 minutes. And while that was setting on there, I started working on the mason jar. I just cut off the hanger from there. And then took my scrapbook paper, and I wanted to use this side of it, so I flipped it over and just traced out the mason jar, kind of lining it up so the top of the jar, but not the lid part, just the jar part would be covered with the scrapbook paper. So just traced it and then cut that out. Next I did a generous layer of the Mod Podge on the jar part, trying to not get it on the lid as much as possible, but you can just wipe it off if you get some on there. So I did a really thick layer because the paper is pretty thick, and then just lined it up on there and smoothed out any bubbles or wrinkles. So once that was all done and drying, I took the board, and I had already started peeling off some of it with the sanding block. And at first it was coming off really easily with the sanding block, and then I just hit a point where it stopped. So I ended up switching to my putty knife and just scraping the rest of it off. After I had all of the corkboard scraped off of there, I just sanded it down because I will be painting it, so you won't see any of this. I just sanded it down till it was nice and smooth. If you don't want to bother with this step, you can just flip it over or put some scrapbook paper maybe right over the corkboard and then paint the outer edge. But I liked it completely finished, so I wanted to remove that completely, and then I just painted this side, and that'll be the back. I took the acrylic paint, the Granite gray, and painted both sides of the board, and I did 2 coats of that, letting it dry in between. And next, after the scrapbook paper was dry underneath, I did the outer layer of Mod Podge. And then I just used my heating tool to speed up the drying process for that Mod Podge. After that was dry, I just sanded off any excess paper with the sanding block. And then I took my light colored twine and put a little hot glue on the back of the mason jar at the start of the lid on the top, and just let that dry, and then wrapped it around and then hot glued it again just to have a good starting point, and then just kept wrapping it around till I got to the top. And I did stop a few times and just put some hot glue on the back just to make sure everything stayed in place. And after everything was all completed, I took the mason jar and took the 4 tumbling tower blocks and hot glued them to the back. And then I just held it up onto my tag hanger just to see where I wanted it to go. Put hot glue on the back of the tumbling blocks and then glued that right down onto the hanger. And then I just tied a hanger with the same twine from the mason jar. And then I took this little pick, which I got from Joann's, and just placed it right between the opening of the mason jar and the hanger. And that is it. Super simple, but really adorable. Perfect for spring. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching.